Hello and welcome to this Stratus presentation on the new user interface of GV Stratus. The first thing you notice is that we have now a new desktop icon for Stratus, control panels, Stratus rundown, Stratus application as well, and of course for Edus as well. When you open Stratus, the first thing you'll notice is the new user interface, which is a little more flat. The goal of this user interface is to really bring to the users more real estate and bring back really the ability to add more things in the UI showing up, and being a UI, a user interface that would be less intrusive with less things to disturb the user interface. So it should be much more relaxing for people to use this interface, and they'll be able to see more information with much less noise in the user interface. First thing I wanted to talk about is obviously focusing on the player. We did a lot of work on the new player, the new overlays of the player, and you will notice a lot of new functionalities. The first one is the new timeline, the new scrubber timeline down there, where you can see there is a mark-in, and you can't see it on the screen, but also a mark-out handle, so you can now drag and drop the mark-in, mark-out to mark-in. But there's also on just above the scrub bar, there is another blue bar, which is basically a zoom in the timeline. So if you want to zoom in into your timeline to see markers, like in my screenshot here, more closely, you can zoom in the timeline. The timeline will be available as well in the full screen mode, which is really a neat new feature. The second thing we enable in this new player in Stratus is the ability to move the overlays. Just like I'm doing right now, I can move the view meters to a different location. So now if I have scores or sports scores or logos I want to see on the top left corner of the video, the audio view meters are not on top of it. So this is something you can do for every single overlay in the Stratus user interface player. Then after that, we've been focusing a lot on the asset list. The first thing you notice on top of the asset list, where we have the search tool, just below we had what we call breadcrumbs, where you can see the path of what you're looking at. So I'm looking at the default folder, and I know I'm looking at the default folder from my Hillsborough system and from my SAN called FSMMDI, and there's 63 items in that folder. I can see the information in the detail list below. And you will see that we see way more things than we used to before, because we now let you resize the thumbnail size in the detail mode. So this is the mode with the smallest size, and you can grab the separator at the column level and then move it up to the right and resize that as big as the one I'm showing you right now. So very flexible user interface to define what you want to see in the detail mode. And the widescreen as well. The widescreen in the first Stratus look and feel was kind of an afterthought, so we didn't spend so much time working on it. This time the widescreen has been developed in parallel as the darker skin, so it's very good, and there won't be any more things that looks like they haven't been finished like we used to. Believe it or not, we have lots and lots of users preferring to use the widescreen over the dark skin in Stratus. Some tools now to show you the modification of some tools. I'm not going to go over every single tools and possibilities, but this is a view of the storyboard editor with the asset list and the send message tool. This is a view of the advanced logger. One of the great things we can do with the advanced logger in this new look and feel is we can display way more buttons than we used to. So some customers will be very happy about that, and it's definitely a little bit more readable, much less real estate lost. And the scheduler here on top with our new transfer windows jobs at the bottom as well, where we can display more things again than we used before. So that's basically it for the new user interface in Stratus. Lots of new cool things, and I'm sure our customers are going to love it. It doesn't change the functionality, it just makes it better and faster to use.